Nerd Takes.
Nerd Takes.
We're back for another Nerd Take. I'm John.
I am Justin.
And we've got Pat and Brian back
Hello,
again.
hello.
Pat hosting. Continuing with the Heaven Hill theme. We're doing the Parker's Heritage collection. Yes. So this is number 14 of the series, and this is the 10-year-old Heavy Char bourbon. So before we get into it, a little quick summary of this. As I mentioned, the 14th edition of Parker's Heritage features Heaven Hill's traditional rye bourbon mash bill aged in specialty barrels that were charred for a full minute and a half as opposed to our traditional 40 seconds. So these level 5 barrels were aged for 10 full years, where the heavier char allowed the bourbon to penetrate further into the barrel, bringing forth caramel and maple sweetness. These 102 barrels were aged on the 6th floor of Rickhouse Y and developed a pleasant smokiness after 40 Kentucky seasons of maturation. It is bottled without chill filtration at 120 proof. So that was that. The mash bill, as we were talking off air, it's the same as the Heaven Hill, the Heaven Hill 17 that we just tasted. 78% corn, 12% malted barley, 10% rye, and the MSRP is $120. And I do have some tasting notes here, but let's dive into it and see how close we are to what the website tells us we should be smelling, tasting.
So starting nose first.
Nose first.
I am getting a lot of the dark cherries.
Char.
Black cherries. Are you getting char?
Well, just oak.
I'm getting some of that. I'm getting some tropical banana, even, and like pineapple before you've cut into a pineapple.
Like a bananas Foster or something like that.
Yeah, something along the definitely bananas Foster with the caramel and everything. Yeah.
I don't know if my palate's off, but I'm picking up an orange rind again.
Yeah, you're always.
I don't know why.
Done that. It's citrus. Quit sniffing orange rinds.
Yeah. Apparently, that's all you're cooking with lately. Lots of orange rinds.
Yeah.
So, according to the tasting notes, you guys are pretty spot on. Nose is balanced and fruit forward, and that's all they said.
Yeah.
Not a lot of detail on this.
Did they happen to say is it delicious or not?
No.
All right, so going for the taste?
Yeah, let's go in.
Good. I already did anyway, so.
Oh, that's interesting. All right. So for me, my thoughts are when you first taste something, that initial taste is sort of a throwaway. It's almost like you're prepping your palate for what's about to happen. But anyways, so that initial, for me, I pick up a chocolate-covered orange.
Of course you
I'm
do.
shocked by that.
I definitely see the
with a
chocolate.
spice finish. That was my first taste.
I'm getting the chocolate, but I'm getting the malt, and this is where I see why it's called heavy char. I pick up a lot more of the char, the smoke, and the oak on the palate.
Yep.
Than I did on the nose initially. And I do see chocolate, but it's almost like a chocolate malt, almost like a stout beer or something like that. This is the 12% malted barley is coming through there, and I wonder what kind of roast they did on that barley when they stopped the malting process. So
Yeah, I agree with you on the oak and the char. I'm getting a little bit of allspice too. I feel like it's just spicier than than
I'm getting
previous
some
things I've
spices
tasted.
and a lot of the oak. So again, not a lot of detail here, but smooth, rich marmalade, sweet but not cloying was the taste.
There it is.
There's a little bit of sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some sweetness, but I don't really get a lot of marmalade. I mean, maybe
I do.
you're orange.
I do.
I don't know.
You're orange.
Marmalade.
Marmalade.
I mean,
is it Lady Marmalade?
All right, what do we think about the finish?
So the finish is great for me. I like that spice. So the spice on this one and the finish is slightly different from the Heaven Hill. I know we're not doing a comparison, but this one is a lot more front to mid palate to me, and a lingering spice.
I totally agree.
Okay.
I like this one a lot. I think it's got a really great
This is
mouthfeel
right
and
down
like
your
this is my jam right here.
Yeah, I think this is once I added water, I definitely see the chocolate covered orange, the citrus. So that really brought that out to me. And the spice is there. Finish, not quite the leather that I was getting from the 17, but that's a product of age.
Still
Moving
just
towards
as
the
long.
Rancio, but it's a long finish. It's a great mouthfeel. It's a really well-crafted whiskey. To me, the spice is a little high. It's lean. I get more of a rye out of this than what I have a sweet tooth. So the ryes are good, but I tend to like lower rye. And the rye is really coming out here. But
I'm the same
it's
way.
exactly what they wanted it to be.
Right.
Absolutely.
We should say, because not everyone watches every episode, but if you want to open up the flavors a little bit, what we've been doing with Brian's recommendation is take just a cap of a water bottle and just put a little
like
bit of
this.
water in there.
Just a little.
Opens it up. You can really
Just a
taste some different
skosh.
flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And it
changes it.
It changes it. Yeah, you'll pick up different notes with the water.
Well, so Brian mentioned, like we had this conversation before, is that when you do that, it actually
The fusel oils.
surfaces up the imperfections of the drink.
Yeah, it helps to reveal a flaw.
Yes.
Certainly, and that's where when I'm tasting, if I'm tasting critically, if I'm gonna taste to choose a barrel, for instance, I'm gonna water it down to where it's about 10 or 12% alcohol, and I'm gonna taste it like wine. A lot of that could be because I came from a wine background and I've been tasting wine that way for a long time. But it reveals any flaws that are in there. You can't hide it. You can't hide with that much water in there. It's really opened everything up, and I can get my nose down in there and take really big whiffs. And so it not only reveals flaws, but allows me to taste all of the little subtleties that may be in there that, when tasted at full strength, are going to be fantastic. But yes, it does reveal flaws.
Yep.
Also, this is something that with Scotch, it's not taboo at all. In Scotland, you go and you order a shot of whiskey, and they'll give you a dram of water on the side, and you just add as much water as you want. That's how it is. It's not necessarily intended to be drunk barrel strength unless you want to drink it that way.
Sure.
So it's a very personal thing.
Yummy.
Time to rate.
Tasty.
Well, the notes.
yeah.
Their notes on the finish was very long and warm, cloves and cinnamon linger. So that spice you were picking up.
Yep.
Now it's time to rate. Pat, you want to go first?
Yeah, for me, it's up there. I would be interested to see what this does after you leave it open for a month or so.
Yeah, we should know.
I
That,
feel like it
this
should
was a
change.
fresh crack. We opened
Yeah.
this and poured this, and now we're trying it. So
Right. Right.
yeah.
We're sharing the neck pour. How about that? But overall, I think
I got
Stupid.
I got the neck pour
I
because
hate that. Continue. Sorry.
I got the neck pour because I poured first. So you're welcome.
Thanks. No, for me, this one's probably about a 7 for me, maybe 7.5. The reason why
So
is that
Luke.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You gotta tell us what Luke you.
You gotta tell us
That's
what Luke,
really
man.
important.
Oh, okay.
Dagobah
Yeah, that
Luke.
is the universal
Seven.
scale.
That's the universal scale.
Yeah.
How else will we know what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
7. What is this?
Dagobah Luke.
What is
Got
this
it.
number?
What is
I
this
mean,
number?
we
It's an
could
arbitrary number out of 100.
this mathematical number, this universal.
All right, Dagobah.
Dagobah Luke.
I'm kind of in the Stormtrooper Luke. I really like it. I think it's got a great mouthfeel, and you guys know I love that oily mouthfeel. So that to me takes it to where it is. I wouldn't say that I'm turned off by the spice on the finish. It's just not what I.
It's not your
look
jam.
for. Yeah,
It's the baking spice or clove at the very end is what's throwing me off. That's the only reason why it's down to 7.
Well, and like you said, like
But
maybe
again,
after
personal
a month, after a
preference.
month, maybe this opens up and it's different, and then
Yeah.
maybe it's a 10 to you. Who knows?
right.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you got?
Red 5 standing by. That's I got to go red. I got to go Red 5 Luke. That is my jam, and
Yep.
you know that. I like the
We know
spice.
that.
I like the cinnamon at the end. I like to just. I don't even care if it's at the front, but that finish is fantastic. This is a higher number I think I've given any other thing we've ever tried.
I
or
believe it
tasted
is.
or watched or whatever.
I believe it is.
So 9 for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Red
Nice.
5 Luke.
And I'm going to split the difference. I'm going to go 8.5. I'm going to go between Stormtrooper and Red 5 Luke.
So you're just going A New Hope Luke.
Sure.
Is that fair?
That's okay. That's fair because that's a mix of the two.
We're gonna start doing some fun little scales in the middle there.
That's the same movie.
You're welcome. that
Episode-
was on the spot. Didn't even think about it.
Episode 4, Luke.
Yeah.
In general, for all the same reasons. The mouthfeel. I think it does drink. It's 120. I think it drinks hotter than 120, and I think that's why you like it.
100%. That's definitely why I like it.
Yeah.
But for all the same reasons, it's a great pour, and I'm curious to see what it turns into when it's open for a little while.
Yep, I agree.
So that's it.
Thanks for sharing,
Parker's
man. That
Heritage.
was awesome.
Number 14,
Yeah.
10 year.
Yeah.
Nerd takes.
Nerd takes.
Nerd takes.
Until next time.